الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد، يا عباد الله، قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: من تطبب ولم يعلم منه طب فهو ضامن. رواه أبو داود والنسائي وحديث حسن. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that whoever attempts to give medical treatment and it is not known from them that they have any type of knowledge inside of medicine, then he will be liable. This hadith is a hadith that is tremendous. It has been collected by Abu Dawood and Nisa'i, and it is a hadith that has been graded as being Hasan. This hadith, it has in it many fawaid that perhaps the average reader of it may not look at, and he may not benefit from, he may not take notice to them. وقال العلامة الشيخ سعدي رحمة الله عليه: وهذا حديث يدل بلفظه وفهواه على أنه لا يحل لأحد أن يتعاطي صناعة من الصناعات وهو لا يحسنها. He said that this hadith, what it points to inside of its wording and inside of its meaning, is that it is not permissible for anyone to bring forward and to try to give any type of industry from the industries, any type of thing from the professions, or do an action, except that he has to be, and he doesn't know anything about it. That is not permissible for someone to put forward an action and to be a pretender and a poser, like he can do something in which he does not have the ability to do, or which he is not skilled at. The Shaykh rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, سواء كان طبا أو غيره. He said whether it is in the field of medicine or other than medicine, it's not permissible for a person to act like he can do something. So for an example, if there's a computer that is broken and you bring it to someone and he says he has expertise in that, it is not permissible for him to take your computer and to touch it, and he knows that he don't know about computers. If you bring your car to a mechanic or to a person who says that he can fix it, and he takes that car from you, it is not permissible for him to do so, and he knows he really don't know about cars like that. So the Shaykh rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, وَأَنَّمَا تَجْرَأُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ فَهُوَ آثِمٌ وما ترتب على عمله من تلف النفس أو عدو أو نحوهما فهو ضامن له. He said it is not permissible for an individual to even agree to take on such a responsibility, and if he were to do so, then he will be a sinner. He'll be committing a sin by just taking that trust. And whatever results from his actions, from the loss of life, or from the destruction of a limb, or some kind of harm and the like, then he is liable, he is responsible for that. He is liable and he is responsible from that. وَمَا أَخَذَهُ مِنَ الْمَالِ في مقابل تلك صناعة التي لا يحسنها فهو مردود على باذله. And whatever money he may happen to have taken for him to do that particular action and to perform that job, of which he knew that he didn't have the ability to do it, he was not skilled with regards to it, then that money has to be returned to the spender. That money has to be returned to the owner, to the one who had employed him to do that thing. لأنه لم يبذله إلا بتغييره وإيهامه أنه يحسن. He said because he didn't give forward his money except that he was misled and he was deceived into thinking that this person had expertise in that thing. But the reality, وَهُوَ لَا يَحْسُنُ, but he does not have the ability to do it. So this, ya ibad, the Shaykh he says, فَيَدْخُلُ فِي الْغِشِّ, and this will enter into deception. This will enter into the general meaning of deception. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, مَنْ غَشَّنَا فَلَيْسَ مِنَّا, whoever deceives us, he is not from us. Whoever deceives us, he is not from us. Ya ibad, this gives us tremendous guidance as relates to the medical professionals. It gives us tremendous guidance as relates to anyone who takes on a task, who takes on a responsibility, who takes the employment of something, that you are only to take up a task of which you have the ability to carry out. You're only to take to a task in which you have the ability to do, you have expertise in. If you know you don't have any expertise in it, then do not be a pretender. Do not be a poser, because this is not permissible in the deen of Al-Islam. We also see from this hadith the superiority of the deen of Al-Islam, in the sense that it allows the practitioners of Al-Islam to seek medical treatment when that is necessitated. Not like the other ones who bring harms to themselves from the other religions, who will deny medical treatment and they claim it is linked to their devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a lie that has been fabricated on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala has not written this upon mankind, not to seek medical treatment and the like, but rather the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he informs us, as it comes in a hadith that is sahih, and is found in Sahih Bukhari, min hadith Abi Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال ما أنزل الله داء إلا أنزل له شفاء. That the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that Allah does not send down a disease except that He also sends down its cure. Allah does not send down a disease except that He also sends down its cure. And as it comes in a hadith that has been collected by Muslim, من hadith Jabir رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لكل داء دواء فإذا أصيب دواء الداء برئ بإذن الله. The Prophet ﷺ, he said what means, for every disease there is a cure, and when the cure touches that disease, then it will be removed and cured by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is another important point that we want to stop and gain benefit from. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, bi'idhnillah, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah ta'ala, He has made the taking of medicine as a sabab from the asbab of the removal of ailments. But all of that is following and after the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because it is Allah who cures. not that tablet that you have taken, not that injection that you have gotten, but it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that cures you. And it is Allah ta'ala that has made that tablet, that injection, as a means for the cure. But the ultimate cure is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if Allah does not will that pill or that injection cures you, you will not be cured. And how many of individuals have seen that with regards to their headaches? This one takes an aspirin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has allowed that person, and by His permission, that the headache goes away, the headache goes away. This other person, he takes the same thing, and his headache don't go nowhere. And this is because the shifa is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These things of taking of medicine and the like, these are just means. These are just means. But the cure is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we are linked, our hearts that are connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are not connected to the means, but they are connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وفي مسند Imam Ahmad, and in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad من حديث أسامة رضي الله تعالى عنه, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله لم ينزل داء إلا أنزل له شفاء or shifa'an, that Allah Ta'ala, He does not send down a disease except that He also sends down its cure. عَلِمَهُ مَنْ عَلِمَهُ وَجَهِلَهُ مَنْ جَهِلَهُ. Those who know about it, know about it. Those who don't know about it, they don't know about it. عَلَى كُلِّ حَالٍ. This shows you the superiority of the deen of Al-Islam and the moderation of the deen of Al-Islam, because Islam is a deen that is moderate, and Islam is a deen that is in the middle. Islam doesn't call us to go too far to the right nor too far to the left, but to be right there in the middle, on the middle course, because that is the way that is right. So therefore we have been encouraged to take medicine. As the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Ibadullah, tadawu, O servants of Allah, O slaves of Allah, take medicine. So if you are sick, take medicine, but take the medicine that is what? That is halal. وَلَا تَدَوُّ بِالْحَرَامِ. Do not seek medical treatment using that which is haram. So there is no treatment for the Muslim inside of whiskey, or inside of rum, or inside of gin, or inside of beer, or inside of anything that is haram. There is no cure for us in that. There is no medical treatment for us in that. But the medical treatment is in that which is what? That which is halal. So it is incumbent, ya ibad, that we understand the reality of this, and we see the superiority of the deen of Al-Islam. So when you are sick, seek medical treatment, but seek it from those who are professionals. Seek it from those who have the skills and expertise. And let they be warned those who are posers. Let they be warned those who are pretenders, because it is not permissible. It is not permissible to undertake anything or to accept any responsibility, and you know you don't have the ability to fulfill it. Do not be a pretender. That's not permissible, ya ibad, because verily that is from deception. And as the Prophet ﷺ, he said, "Man ghashana falaysa minna," and whoever deceives us, then he is not from us. هذا يا عباد أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروا فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. يا عباد, still looking at the issue of the doctors and how it is a must that we seek medical treatment with those who are experts in their fields, those who are licensed, those who have the skills and credentials to do that which they are saying that they are going to do. Likewise, ya ibad, we need to realize that also what this extends to is to the one who pretends to be an alim, or the one who pretends to be a talib al-ilm, because also from the diseases is a jahl, is ignorance. As Imam Ibn Qayyim, he says in his Nunniyah, الجهل داء قاتل والشفاء أمران في التركيب متفقان نص من الكتاب أو من سنة والطبيب ذاك العالم الرباني. Imam Ibn Qayyim, he says in his Nunniyah, what means verily ignorance, it is a deadly disease. Ignorance is a terminal disease, and its cure, then they are that which no one differs about their prescription. No one differs about the makeup of this prescription, the cure of it. It is a text from the book or from the sunnah, and a verse from the Quran or a hadith from the sunnah. And the doctor, because every prescription needs a doctor to give that prescription and the like, the doctor, it is that alim who is Rabbani. The doctor, it is that alim, that one who knows how to rear the people, taking them from the smaller issues to the bigger issues and speaking to them on a level that is befitting and the like. This is the doctor, that alim. So it is a must that we understand when we have treatment or we are in need of treatment, who to go to. So just like it is not permissible for a person who don't know anything about medicine to act like he knows something about medicine, likewise, it is not permissible for one to pretend to be an alim and he knows he's not an alim. It's not permissible. But we are plagued with the like of these things here in this country. Every time you turn around, this person's sheikh, that person's sheikh, and so on and so forth. We have sheikh coming down to us from this place, sheikh coming from that place, sheikh coming from this state. Everybody come out, the sheikh, the sheikh, the sheikh. Ya subhanallah. And when one investigates this affair, he realizes that this person, min ajhal nas, he's from the most ignorant of the people. Na'am. So it is incumbent and it is a must that we understand that those who pretend to be ulama, then they are evil. Those who pretend to be talabatul ilm, and they're not from the talab al-ilm, then this is something that is evil. This is something that is not permissible. This is something that is dangerous, and is more dangerous than a pretender doctor. It's more dangerous than the one who pretends to be a doctor. Why? Because what's on the line is more severe. What's on the line is more severe. So ibad, it is a must that we be on our guard from these pretenders, these people who act like they have ilm and they don't have no ilm. It is a must that we be on our guard, ya ibad, from those who don't know their position. Verily, a wise man is a man who knows his position. A wise man is a man who knows his position. And this, you will see that if we were to apply this hadith inside of our life, then you will see it will give us a characteristic from the characteristic of those who are wise. Because a person who knows he's not fit, he's not built to take on a responsibility, when he reflects on the likes of this hadith, he won't take it on, because he knows what? It's not permissible to act like you could do something you know you can't do it. So how come, ya ibad, every time these fake scholars are asked a question, they got to answer? How come, ya ibad? How come every time you ask these pseudo scholars an answer, they got to answer? When the likes of Imam Malik, rahimahullah ta'ala, when he was asked, he would say, La adri, I don't know. Because sometimes he was asked things he didn't know. And you find this from the kibar ulama. The kibar ulama, that you will find from time to time, they will say, I don't know. This is something that has to be investigated, and so on and so forth. But yet you get these ones, and they coming from these jama'iyat that are present here in America, and they got to answer for everything. You ask them 100 questions, he give you 100 answers. Ya subhanallah. One who has no credentials, one who has no ilm, no one who hasn't accomplished anything in knowledge, and people are taking to him like he is an alim. This is not permissible, ya ibad. Let us be warned from the pretenders. Don't be a pretender. The Shaykh Hafidhullah Ta'ala, he goes on to mention, bring us some more examples. He says, وَمِثْلَ هَذَا, and likewise similar to this, the one who pretends to be a doctor, al-banna', likewise the builder, the architect, the construction worker. Don't front like you can do something from construction, you know you can't do it. Don't act like you have expertise and you know you don't have it. The Shaykh, he says, wal-haddad, and the ironsmith, the one who deals with the iron and the metalworks. If you don't have skills in that, don't act like you have skills in that. If you know you're not a welder, don't try to weld nothing. Wal-kharraz, and likewise the jewelry man who deals with particularly pearls and the like. If you know you're not a jeweler, don't take the person's jewelry, the man-wife jewelry needs to be fixed, don't take it, you know you know how to fix it. Naam. Wal-nassaj, likewise the textile person and professional. If you know you don't have no skills in that area, don't take it. Don't take on to that. And the Shaykh, he says, وَنَحْوَهُمْ مِمَّا نَصْرَبَ نَفْسُهُ لِذَلِكَ, and likewise from this, from whatever a person he may happen to attribute to himself. Don't do it. Because if he's not able to do that, it's not permissible to do it. وَهُوَ كَاذِبٌ, and he is a liar. By saying that you can, by taking on responsibility, you know you don't have the expertise and skills to handle that responsibility, this is tantamount, this equals you're lying. You're lying. because you're giving forth the perception that you are an expert, and you know you're not an expert. So let it be warned those who lie upon their resumes, acting like they can do things they know they can't do it. Be warned, because you're deceiving the people, you're lying to them. And as we know, as the Prophet ﷺ, he has explained to us in authentic hadith, that from the characteristics of the munafiq, of the hypocrite, إِذَا حَدَّثَ كَذَبَ, when he speaks, he lies. When he speaks, he lies. So let us not be of those who lie, ya ibad. An important thing to understand from this hadith, as the Shaykh he points out, rahimahullah ta'ala, أن الطبيب هابط ونحو إذا باشر ولم تجنى يده ويترتب على ذلك تلف فليس بضامن. He said, and what we understand from this is that the skilled doctor, the one who he is skilled in his arena, the one who has not hidden anything from you, the one who had full disclosure, if he takes on a task or he takes a case, for example, and then there results in that something from loss, whether the loss of a limb, a life, and so on and so forth, he is not held liable. He's not held responsible. لأنه مأذون, because he's a person who he's permitted to do this. He's a person who's licensed to do this. He's a person who's licensed to do it. He's a person who has been permitted to do so. من المكلف أو من وليه, either by the patient himself or by the person who's speaking on the behalf of the patient in the case where the patient is incapacitated by any means. Whoever is allowed to speak on his behalf as it relates to medical treatment has given the permission to take this course of action or this course of medical action the like. Then this one, he's not held liable for anything that may result from that which is outside of his control. He's not held liable for anything that may result from that which is outside of his control, because remember, the cure is by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the doctor who is skilled has done, and he has done the course of treatment as his knowledge has dictated to him to do so, that course of treatment of which is the standard course of treatment for this particular ailment and the like, and the person is not cured, that's not upon the doctor. He gave the medicine as supposed to be given, the person, he got it how he should have gotten it, but Allah did not allow for that person, Allah did not will for that person to be cured, so he won't be cured. Then the doctor, he's not liable. He's not liable. فكل ما ترتب على المأذون فيه فهو غير مضمون. So whatever happens to the one who is licensed and he has been permitted to take this course of medical action, whatever happens, whatever results from his medical treatment, then he is not liable. He is not liable. وما ترتب على غير ذلك على غير ذلك المأذون فيه فإنه مضمون. But whatever has taken place and resulted from trying to treat someone medically from a person who was not given permission, from a person who was not licensed, who does not have the expertise, and so on and so forth, then he is held liable. He is held liable. Let this be a word of direction for the doctors. If you know your expertise is in cardiology, don't try to deal with an issue that deals with neurology. If you know that you're a podiatrist, don't try to deal with someone's aching tooth. You will have to stand and you will have to stay within the realm of your expertise. And were you to stray from that, or to do something in which you weren't permitted to do, and some harm resulted from that, then you are liable. It is your fault. You are liable. So let us be warned, ya ibad. The Shaykh Hafidhahullah Ta'ala, he mentions, he says, وَيَسْتَدِلُّ بِهَذَا عَلَى أن صناعة الطب من علوم النافعة المطلوبة شرعا وعقلا والله أعلم. The Shaykh, he says that also what we understand from this particular hadith is that the industry of medicine, the medical industry, is an industry, or it is a science that is of extreme benefit, and it is that which is sought after, it is that which is required by both the Sharia and by intellect. That the Sharia legislatively, it commands us to investigate and to look into this knowledge. And as the Sharia, it commands the Muslim that when we do something, do it well. When we do something, do it well. So we are encouraged as Muslims, we are encouraged as an ummah to excel in the fields of medicine, to excel in this science. Naam, this is that which the Sharia encourages us to do, and is that which the intellect encourages us to do. Because when one gets sick, he realizes he needs someone that's skilled to seek treatment. He needs someone that's skilled to know what kind of medicine he needs. He needs someone that's skilled to know the proper doses and the like. So the Sharia encourages of this, and the intellect encourages with this. So again, we see again from this standpoint the superiority of the deen of Al-Islam. How this is a deen that is complete with al-hamd. Alhamdulillah ala ni'mat al-Islam wa sunnah. All praise and thanks belong to Allah for guiding us to Islam and for guiding us to the Sunnah, this beautiful religion that is complete and is perfect from every aspect, every standpoint, every direction, every affair in your life. It gives us guidance. It gives us guidance as a perfect deen. As Allah Ta'ala, He says, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. And on this day I have perfected for your religion and completed my favor upon you, and I'm pleased that you have Islam as your religion. Alhamdulillah that Allah has guided us to the deen that He is pleased with. Alhamdulillah that Allah Ta'ala has guided us to the deen of Al-Islam. Alhamdulillah that Allah Ta'ala has guided us to the Sunnah and following the Sunnah of Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Because ya ibad, we are the ones who benefit from this. We are the ones who benefit in our deen. We are the ones who benefit in our dunya. We are the ones who our soul benefits. And as you see from this hadith, we are the ones who our bodies benefit. And in everything else which is linked to it, it enters into the meaning of this hadith. From those things that happen in our day-to-day life, we are the ones who benefit, because Islam does not allow us to deceive. Islam does not allow us to trick. Islam does not allow us to lie. Islam does not allow us to pretend, but rather Islam tells us that when we take on a task, then we have to be of those who have the expertise and know how to carry it out. And if not, then we are to not take it. We are not to take on that responsibility, and we are not allowed to betray that trust. Islam is a deen that calls to every type of good, wholesome action, every type of good, wholesome, goodly characteristic. Alhamdulillah that Allah has guided us to the deen of Al-Islam. So praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Increase in your righteous good deeds. Increase in your reading of the Quran. Increase in your reading of the ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Increase in your salawat. Increase in your giving of sadaqah. Increase of performing of righteous good deeds in general. Trying to what? To show thanks with your limbs for this great ni'mah that Allah Ta'ala has guided you to from the deen of Al-Islam. هذا يا عباد فأقيموا الصلاة.